welcome to new series of Chronicling through Breath of Fire 3. Third entry at the Breath of Fire series. Two of them came out at the Super Nintendo. Third and fourth one came at PlayStation 1. So let's just start it. And I think this is the best one of them all. So just press start button. It checks the memory card, of course. Blah, 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 blah. New game. And following the default name ever of every Breath of Fire game. Live. It's completely functional good name to have in this game. So start. And okay, speed, message speed fast, window colors. Let's keep it this. Let's put the brick wall, auto run off. I know controller configurations. Actually, let's do it. Now switched it around. And like this. I would say that this is the more pleasant one. With a nice big camera move, crystal, and a dragon inside. In some mining place, an explosion is being made to explode some sort of crystal open. It awakes. And it's being attacked. Okay, now. The game starts with the combat. You can defend, use abilities, or attack. So let's just start with that, using abilities. And you just use a dragon breathing attack. They were not moving, and yeah, game has begun. So at this phase, there's not much you can do except run around, and apparently the control configurations only apply to control of doing the field study game, which is kind of a hassle. Somebody? Yep, alive. Yep. Well, that is kind of. I would say that's a kind of rational reaction. So, and also there's the chance to move camera a little bit around and see that yep, there's 2D sprites, but they do look quite nice. Oh, well, that guy is either apathetic or absolutely very focused on his job. But you can zoom out. More combat action. Fire breathing action. Smells burnt. people. Oh yeah, it's still here. And of course there's also a chance to escape from the battle and do a charge attack, which is to say, attack widely. So let's just go through that. But there's an automatic counter attack, just a fire breathing attack. Not moving at all. Got a bit, you could say, toasty situation with those two dudes. Well, let's just leave those panicking crews around and just try to run away from the place. Running away. So there's plenty of and in comparison to the original ones, which had an isometric view, this one has an isometric view all the time. And there's some bigger guy, and they want to take me alive. And now we get the boss battle music, which is real nice and catchy. But the combat was completely turn-based. The dragon goes confused because there's some fossilized bones of another dragon. But the use of crane knocks it out. Heavy industry for the win. It rose from the crystal, started a rampage, but was subdued in mining area. And of course placed in the cage and wake up, and it seems to be quite upset and angry about it. So I guess they are about to deliver it. Now I do say that when you compare this to the first two Breath of Fire games, the presentation and style is just absolutely way above that. But now it's time to make a little bit of a racket with the and crash out from it. They didn't secure it properly. There are wolves. That's a species of tree. But there was somebody hunting. When it's a matter of storytelling, you could really say that, yep, that you know that this is the same person. Was that the only time when the Ryu actually spoke? And now we know who is the other character. His name is Ray. and he seems to be older and something like an anthropomorphic little tiger person, slightly, for having a tail and claws. There's two of them, Ray and Tipo. I don't know how the name was pronounced. But an orphan found from the woods. Now we got some even exposition. There's some years lean. Yeah, enough. There's two, if not even three orphans now. And somebody's showing up. Mysterious person in the dream. And another big, this time more angelic form appearing. But many animation frames also added. That would also be quite much important. Can actually move all by himself, run around. There's diary, which can be used to make save game. So let's just wander about, because this is still just, you could say, the tutorial phase of the game. So giving you some of the basic mechanics of the gameplay. Big wooden fort at the forest area. And found a room. And by the window. Graphics are basically, or settings is very much made out of, you could say, I think the word is textured blocks. And with a fixed camera angle, which can be slightly moved around. But combined with the groovy music and good, you could say, very solid understanding how the game is to be structured, if you can say that Breath of Fire 3 looks very good. It is not the most, you could say, fancy, but it's still a good looking game. Oh? About capable of willing to tell you about basic game mechanics available. So, but it's still just a, you could say, slightly like a, you could say, at this phase you can wonder about these areas, trying to figure out what's going on. Nothing really unusual game mechanically. That's something like you could say almost an invitation that this is something what most likely he's been doing. And there's some guy called Bunyan. But the time of the year seems to be autumn, and things seem to be quite. Called Ural region. There's all kinds of things going around. There are woods, areas to go. And there would be a village called McNeil where to go. Field of flowers, river. Yeah, the world map follows the same isometric presentation as the rest of the game, but of course with a bit more abstraction. Going inside the McNeil village or city. Something happened. Looks like there's some sort of thieves or burglars. It looks like we woke up. Doesn't this feel? But you can still see that even this little action you can show that Ray is, you could say, something like a leader of these youngster bandits. And you can say fundamentally good person because he just didn't abandon somebody if he died. Even though it might be something like a very pragmatic reason, he's still not doing it any with. And that introduces another mechanic. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, looks like something happened. Yeah, there's some little bit of comedy at this phase of the game. And some little bit of moving camera work as well. We use an arm and almond. There's a new plan going on. So it would be actually good now to change the actions and speaks and moves around. Party members around. Okay, that's the wrong button. And they all have various items and tactics. Ryu can swing sword around to 4 directions. Ray very impressive yell while at it. Bravo. So let's just go here and mug somebody. What would be the name? But now comes the first battle of the game. With a catchy battle music. So now, Ray, there's various attacks you can use. Attack abilities, skills, healings, and assists. But let's just start with the basic attack setting. Ray can also do an attack which does less damage but steals. And once the enemy is beaten up, they existence. Yeah. Once you win, you get this magnificent triumphant music and some money, basically. Yep. The battle system is, well, it ain't perfect. It works quite well, but you can't make it something like a tiresome first. Yep. It's a big road. But I would not understand why did the design did not allow to zoom further, even though the technology was there as they showed it. Game is even kind enough to show you that go there. So it would be time to run, and there would be something to find as well. A little bit of money. Alright. It ain't so great plan. And that's kind of... Ray is kind of telling himself about that, but... Oh, looks like time to start robbing. And that guy looks scary. Big and burly. Didn't work that well. It's bunny. Looks like Bunny is kind of doesn't like the idea of bandits running around, even if they were basically poor kids. Most likely head honcho of the area, more or less. Seems to be a kind of a smart plan, as in not that smart. So, but once again, just I would say that in this game, like this didn't show the quite important mechanic of this game, which is attempting to basically you can examine enemies and then use specific enemy abilities and then you can learn those moves and use them yourself. Which is a real nice, I would say, real nice mechanic. And let's just go charge, all out, attack. But the player ran away. Apparently those boss goblins, if you don't smack them out of existence, they run away. Damn. But there's a little bit of location for Farm and McNeil. But let's just look at... But now I can just wander about. Friendly, but there's a chance to buy some equipment, which is something. Bandana as well. Hostility, that guy did sell stuff. And I would say that this game is quite heavy, recommends quite heavily being level grinding a lot to become better. But let's just head to Cedar Woods and save the game so I can do some off-screen level grinding. Yes, even at this early phase of the game, it is extremely recommended thing to do.
Itadaki!
Attack! Miss! And it's real nice that the battle screens also happen at the same area that you are in,
Itadaki!
making all these locations look quite grand. And sound effects are quite loud. So I would say that the game makes quite good work at making locations seem more real about it's a matter of fighting areas. Lots of these things.
Itadaki!
I have to say that the charge option, once you start to get more powerful in this game, is very, very good in making enemy fights against enemies a bit less hassle when you can just put the charge on and overwhelm them. Try to get rid of the boss goblins. And there's also quite lots of animation frames, which is nice. And it's a real nice thing that the Ryu's attack animation is also really, you could say, scared to me that he isn't familiar with fighting.
Itadaki!
You get various stat increases over your statistics, which make it a bit better to. Oh. Yeah, that guy isn't particularly friendly. Now I'm of course returning to the headquarters or base. Whatever word you want to use about this place, and getting the save and ending this episode right here. Next time it's time to start raiding Daniel's home. See ya. See you in the diary. You want to record of your journey so far? Actually, yes, I do, and I will end this episode right here. See ya!